Hello. I like to make today coffee to go cupcakes. So what we have is we have a cupcakes which is baked in a disposable takeaway coffee cups. You can even place lids on it. You can use one of those. You can find in a lot of variety discount sort of cheap stores like that, or you can find something like this. They come with lids as well, which is very comfortable. Once you make them and ice them, you can just cover with lid and you have a great picnic cupcake. So it does not matter which one you actually use, and if you use one of those smaller ones, you probably get more of actual our cupcake butter because they're smaller. If you get one of those bigger ones, you probably get a little bit less. So what we do is also, if they're smaller, you will probably can able to place them in a muffin tray to make sure they stand. If they're larger, they will not fit in a muffin tray, so place them in the tray to make sure it's a space between them, make sure that heat penetrate through and properly bake a cupcake. So does not matter, as I said, to which one you actually use. You can use even small ones, one of those like baby cups, which is fun as well. So basically what we do is first we need to preheat our oven to 180 degrees Celsius, which is 350 Fahrenheit, and we need I like to say something about buttermilk because we're using today buttermilk. If you cannot find buttermilk or don't have it particular when you bake it, it's not really hard to make it. What you do is with buttermilk you can make homemade and add 1 tablespoon of vinegar in 1 cup of milk and let it sit for about 15 minutes. Sometimes you can see it start a little bit curdle sort of. That's what you wanted. It's all fine. Does not matter what reaction. Just simply place 1 tablespoon of vinegar, white vinegar, in a 1 cup of milk stew and just let it sit for about 15 minutes. Now, so what we do is first we whisk together the 3/4 of a cup strong coffee. As you can see, it's all done, and just simply place, I would say, any coffee or your favorite coffee and mix with hot water. That's what you will get. So we place our strong coffee. We add also 3 teaspoons of coffee powder, which is I use simply Nescafe blend. You can use also any of your choice. It doesn't really matter. So next is we add cocoa, which is in the recipe asking dark cocoa powder, which is I just using simple baking cocoa. It's 3/4 of a cup the dark cocoa powder. So what we do is we whisking all these ingredients together, just like this. Just make sure they're nicely incorporated. As you can see, it's become like kind of like a sort of chocolatey kind of mass. And we set aside. That's step 1 is done. So next is we need sift our dry ingredients, which is we have 2.5 cups of a plain flour sifted with 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Once you sift these 3 ingredients, set aside as well. See, this is our part 2. Now, next is in the large bowl we step 3 is we need to measure 1 cup of a buttermilk, which is have to be at room temperature, and we add about 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract we mix it together and we set aside. So we have step 1, step 2, step 3, and this is just the last one, will be sour cream. Now, this next step is we have in a large bowl, we need to cream together the 3/4 cup of unsalted butter, which is also room temperature. It's about 6 ounces or 170 grams. If you do not pick up some ingredients, do not get worried. Everything will be in a description box. You can simply just click and you can copy whole recipe. So we have a 3/4 cup of unsalted butter, room temperature, and we have 2 cups of a brown sugar, and we have 1 teaspoon of salt. So what we do is next we cream together butter with sugar, and once it's nicely mixed and everything, we start adding our eggs. We have 3 eggs. We need add 1 egg at a time and beat very well after each addition. So once we beat together butter and brown sugar, then we start add 1 egg, beat it completely and very well, get a second egg until all 3 eggs is done. Once you combine together butter and brown sugar, it just simply combine. It's not really, we not try to make it any fluffy or anything else. We just want it combined. So add 1 egg and beat after first addition. Once it's all incorporated, we get another egg. Once we finish incorporated all 3 eggs, that's what how mixture is look like now. So next step is we start adding flour and buttermilk to our mixture. But key is, also what I like to add it, when you're beating eggs, to make sure you actually scraping sides of bowl as well with spatula, to make sure your mass is completely incorporated and completely is same. So we don't want any lumps or anything like that. So what we do is we start with a flour mixture and we will finish with flour mixture. So how we do that? So we take 1/3 of a cup of our flour mixture, we add to the egg mixture, we mix it all together until combined. Then we add half of our buttermilk. So once it's all combined, we add half of our buttermilk. That's about would be half. And mix it again together. As you can see, it's become kind of same consistency. That's what we want to achieve. That's once it's combined, we add another 1/3 of a flour. Once it's incorporated, we add rest of buttermilk and we finish with a flour mixture. Once we add last bits of flour, that's how our mixture is look like now. So next step is to add our cocoa mixture. I use spatula to kind of take all this mixture from the bowl, and what we do is then once we add our coffee mixture, we need a mix through very well to make sure it's nicely incorporated. And then once it's all done and we're happy what we achieve, so we add 2 tablespoons of the sour cream, which is have to be at room temperature as well. But first of all, what we do, we incorporated our coffee mixture first. Then once it's completely incorporated and mixed completely through, we add our 2 tablespoons of sour cream and we start divide equally into our takeaway coffee cups. Once we fold our last ingredient, 2 tablespoons of sour cream, what we've done is we simply divided among our disposable takeaway coffee cups. And as I said before, it just depends what size you're using. Or you're using a little miniature, or you're using medium size, or you're using a large type of basically disposable coffee cups. That's depend on amount you will make. So we have here 8, and I tell you honestly, I'm not quite sure because I do this recipe first time. I can't wait to try what its taste will be, but because in the recipe actually does not say how many cups we should use. So I thought if we just place about half of whatever you use, would it be large cup, would it be medium or small? I think if we go for about half, we probably get it right. I might be wrong, I'm not quite sure, but if it will rise too much, then what we will do, we just cut it our top off and we place buttercream icing on top, which is we have to do anyway. But on this stage, I think we should place about half, and basically it shouldn't be overload, I think. And what we do is, what you do is, so once you place about half, tap it a little bit and place it on your tray. If you're using small ones, as I said before, you can use a muffin tray and place them into muffin tray to stand, but this is too large for muffin tray, unless it's a type of Texas muffin tray. So we use just average baking tray. And another aspect is to make sure you have the enough room between cups to hot air circulating and bake properly. So now we bake for 16 to 18 minutes or until our skewer or cake test, does not matter, once you insert it, it's come out clean. So let's go and bake it. Once our cappuccino cups basically is baked and cooled completely, as you can see, this is the large ones and we make them 8. If you go for smaller, you will make them or 12 or much more, depending on size obviously you go for. So we place half of basically cupcake butter, and that's how much you can see they basically grew. Another aspect I saw, because this is the large cups, it took not actually 16-18 minutes, it took about 25 to 30 minutes because they're much larger. So basically larger ones will take 25-30 minutes. If you make them smaller, it takes about 16-18 minutes. Okay, next step is that to make buttercream icing. For buttercream icing, we need place 125 gram of butter, which is room temperature, and 1.5 cups of powdered icing sugar, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence. We beat it together with electric mixer until it's smooth. And what we do is, next we take one of our cooled the cappuccino cups and we spread our buttercream icing nice and smooth. I would say as smooth as you probably can, because it makes really nice, attractive look. And here we are. As you can see, it's very tight, very neat, nice. So next is, we need just to sprinkle. You can use drinking chocolate powder, or the or cocoa, or anything what you like. I like to have it drinking powder, because chocolate goes well with this recipe. Place in a little sort of a sifter, and just to sprinkle a little bit. Look like look like it's the real cappuccino cups. So here we are, and I hope you do like, and I hope you do try. It's excellent recipe for the parties, for birthdays, for picnics, or just simply to try. Thank you very much for your time with me today. Until next time, goodbye. Also, as always, whole recipe will be in the description box. If you do interested, please do have a look. Thank you. Bye bye.